I gave my girlfriend my heart and all of me, but she returned only distance and indifference. Now she says she's had enough of me and is dumping me for being too needy. Posted by you/throwaway01980. Throwaway because my username is known by my girlfriend, friends, and family. This may end up being a wall of text, but here goes. I, 37M, have been dating my girlfriend, Anna, 26F, for about 1.5 years. 5 months ago, we moved in together, got a dog, and bought all new furniture. I've been married before, so I didn't want to rush things, but I'm head over heels for this girl. I made sure she didn't feel like it was too fast since she's younger than me, and that was a major concern. Anna told me she was ready for this, and we both wanted to start our life together. When Anna and I started dating, she was 6 months out of a 5-year relationship in which her ex was distant and ignored her. Eventually, she got tired of it and left him. I was worried I was a rebound at first, but she quickly alleviated that concern. I've tried my best to show her how crazy I am about her. I've never felt this way about anyone before. I tell her often how much she means to me, and I try to do little things like picking up flowers, planning surprise dates, etc. We've both been happy, but over time, I've started to notice her being a bit emotionally distant. She would tell me she loved me when I said it first, and she would reply to cute texts most of the time, but she didn't really initiate either. I started to feel like she was just going through the motions and not really feeling it. I tried to talk to her about this, but she would get upset. Anna would say, "We're fine. Drop it." I tried, but it didn't feel like we were okay. I started to fall into a cycle of worrying about us, which would make her mad, which would make me worry more. This came to a head on Thanksgiving. We went to her large family gathering, 50+ people, and I can admit, I was needy. I felt like she was mad at me because she was being abrupt. I sensed this horrible distance, and no matter what I did, it just got worse. We went home the next day, and she told me she needed a break. I asked what was going on, and she said she was exhausted from having to reassure me about our relationship and that I didn't believe her when she told me she loved me. I left and stayed at a hotel for 2 days. When I returned home, she said she wanted to make it work. I told her I would try to need less if she could try to give more. I really wanted her to take the initiative sometimes, and I recognized that I was being needy. We did well for a while. I told myself that she was showing love in other ways, making dinner, asking what I wanted to watch, going on dog walks with me, even if she wasn't initiating things the way I did. Anna told me she saw me working on it, and we were doing well. While making Christmas plans, I asked Anna if she wanted me to come to her parents, and she told me she really wanted it to be just her family. Trying not to be needy, I accepted this and made plans to go to my parents. We celebrated our couple's Christmas about a week before she planned on going to her parents, about 1.5 hours away, and I was going to mine, 9 hours away, for actual Christmas. The plan was for me to meet her at her parents' for New Year's, and we would go home the next day. During our week apart, I started to miss her. I tried not to be needy, just a text every now and then and a call on Christmas Day. She also kept in better contact, which I enjoyed. However, I was a little concerned when I learned that Anna was letting her best friend plan her birthday later this month instead of me. Anna had planned mine, so I assumed I would plan hers. She told me it was no big deal. I tried to let it go, even though I felt excluded. I was also worried about our lease. We had a chance to save 5% on rent if we signed early for another year. I asked her about it, and even though I thought we both liked the apartment, she said she didn't want to lock in for another year because she wasn't sure where she wanted to be. This worried me, as we had talked about staying another year. I asked, "You mean about the apartment, right? Not us?" I know it was a stupid question. She got mad and said, "God. Yes, we're fine." I apologized. I was excited to see her on New Year's Eve. I'm a romantic, and I was hoping for that storybook giant hug, kiss, and I missed you. When I arrived at her parents', she came out with our dog. I told her how much I missed and loved her, and she just said, "Okay. Missed you too." No smile, no kiss, nothing. I got a sinking feeling. I told her flat out, "I'm not trying to be needy, babe, but I was hoping you'd be excited to see me." She told me she was excited, I was just more enthusiastic about it. I let it go, and we went out with friends for New Year's. I still felt this distance. On New Year's morning, we woke up, and I rolled over and told her that I wanted 2018 to be the year we really focused on us, that I was excited to keep working on getting to a good place. She didn't seem to care. I asked her what was going on, and she said once again, "We're fine. Drop it." I told her that I didn't feel like we were fine. Why couldn't we talk about stuff? Why couldn't I get any real emotions from her? She went off. She told me she was exhausted by how needy I am, that she was tired of reassuring me, and that she didn't feel like anything had gotten better since our break. I told her that it's hard to feel secure when she keeps making me feel insecure, and I thought she said we were getting better. She told me she isn't my mother and that it's not her job. I told her I love her and want to make this work, but we both need to put in the effort. She told me she didn't want to work at it and that we were done. I asked her not to do this again, like after Thanksgiving, that we could fight, argue, and disagree but still fix things instead of just breaking up. She told me again she was tired of trying, and we were done. I dropped her off at her parents and told her, I love you. Please don't do this. If you love me, we can make this work. She replied, I'm not happy. I don't love you right now. I left, and I haven't seen her in 4 days. I haven't heard anything from her. One of my friends texted her asking what happened, and she said, he's a great person. He will make someone happy someday. I talked to her friend, the one planning the birthday, who told me, I told her she shouldn't have gotten back with you after Thanksgiving. I think she moved in with you out of convenience. She likes you as a person, but you're different people. Obviously, not what I wanted to hear, and I don't know what to make of it. So here we are. I'm feeling lost, sad, pissed off, and alone. My friends have been super supportive, but I miss Anna, and our dog. I've been alone in our home, sleeping alone in our bed, miserable. I guess this post is part venting, part asking for advice. What do I do from here? I'm afraid that if I call or text her, she will just see me as being needy again. I honestly love Anna and want this to work, but I don't know how to make it better or if she even wants to. I don't know if I'm being unreasonable for wanting her to be more emotionally available. I don't know when she's coming home or anything. Thank you all for sticking with this long post. Relevant comments. Commenter. This post makes me really sad. You sound like such a caring person with a lot of love to give. From the sounds of it, you guys are just incompatible in terms of emotional sensitivity, affection, and love languages. From your description, she sounds pretty cold and closed off. I'm wondering if she might have an avoidant attachment style. It could be insightful to read about this if you haven't already. It's hard to say how much, if any, of this is you being needy versus her just being unreasonably distant and cold. I totally get that it's annoying and maybe a deal breaker to constantly have to reassure a partner, but it actually sounds like she's offering you way too little emotionally by, I'd guess, most people's standards. I'm very sorry that she has ended things. That is so difficult to deal with. Try to remember that this will allow you to meet someone else who will happily return your love and affection and won't be put off by talking about emotions or your relationship. Since you described her as lacking so much affection, kindness, and patience, I'm curious, what good qualities does she have that make you love her? Ops response. Thank you for the kind and thoughtful reply. Reading it actually made me cry. It's hard to pinpoint what you love about someone. I love her smile, the way she used to look at me, the fact that she is smart, and how we feel the same about most things. I love how excited she gets about her work. Update 1 month later. A week passed after the breakup, and I heard nothing from Anna. I took everyone's advice and did not contact her. One night, I came home from the gym, also took that advice, and there she was, sitting on the couch, crying. I sat beside her, and she unloaded. She told me she was sorry, that she had treated me the way her ex had treated her. As mentioned in the old post, her ex was distant, unavailable, and neglected her for 5 years. She said that I wasn't too needy, she just couldn't open up. She told me I was the best boyfriend she had ever had, that our relationship was amazing, and that I had done nothing wrong. I told her that I still loved her, that she was the best part of my life. I asked her if she wanted to work it out. She said, no. We're done. I don't feel butterflies every day. I told her that real adult relationships take work, that you don't feel that new love butterfly feeling every day, but you work on it and make sure you are both happy. She told me it was easier to leave than to work on it, and that was what she wanted to do. After we spoke, she gathered some clothes and left again, presumably to her parents. She returned a few days later and was a different person. I would try to tell her that I still loved her and that we could work it out, but she acted like she couldn't hear me or as if I wasn't there, literally staring past me. Eventually, she yelled at me, "Why are you fighting for this? It's done." I told her fine, if she wanted to leave the life we had started, apartment, dog, furniture, etc., then she needed to leave. I told her I couldn't bear to live with her as roommates and not as a couple. She said she would start looking for a new place. I told her I would be keeping the dog. She told me she hated me for that and said, "See? I knew you were a jerk. I'm glad I left you." After a few days of sleeping on the couch while she stayed in what was our bedroom, I came home from work and found that she had moved all of my things, clothes, possessions, everything, out of our bedroom and into the guest bedroom and bathroom. She told me the master bedroom and bath were hers and that I was not to go near them. I asked that we at least be civil to one another, if for no other reason than to honor the relationship we had. She ignored me and continued to act like I wasn't there. I told her she needed to find a new place as soon as possible. We continued like this for a while, her acting like I wasn't there, me being heartbroken. I stopped trying to talk to her about working it out. At every opportunity, she would make a nasty or mean comment, telling me not to sit on her couch. We financed the furniture in her name since her credit was better, telling me not to eat her food, that we had bought together, throwing clothes I had bought for her at me, saying, "Give these to your next effing girlfriend," accidentally dropping my toothbrush in the trash, talking on the phone and loudly saying, "Yeah, he's still here. I know he's a jerk," etc. She was acting like I had cheated on her, ended the relationship, or somehow wronged her. In the meantime, most of her friends and family, including her mother, who called me crying, have been asking what is wrong with her and why she is doing this. I'm not digging, and I'm not reaching out to them, but all of them are telling me she has gone off the deep end. About 2.5 weeks after the breakup, with us still living in the same place, I was at dinner with a friend who was using a dating app. He opened it, and the first profile to show up was Anna's. She had used pictures of us, with me cropped out, as her profile. I was devastated. When I got home, I told her I had seen her profile, and she literally laughed in my face. She said, "Yeah, how else am I going to get over you?" I was mad, heartbroken, and confused. I told her that it made me feel like we had meant nothing to her. I asked, "Did we mean that little to you that you didn't even wait a month?" She shrugged and walked away. That evening, she left and didn't come home until the next morning, wearing the same clothes. She did that 2 more days in a row. I'm not an idiot, I've seen a walk of shame before. On Sunday, she came home to pick up some clothes. I asked if she was staying. She said, "No, I have a ride waiting. Don't go outside." I looked out the window, and there was some ugly dude in a car. I could not effing believe this. I said, "Are you effing kidding? Are you dating him or something?" She replied, "No, I'm just sleeping with him." Again, I was floored. I could not effing believe this. Less than 3 weeks ago, I wanted to spend my life with this woman. A month ago, we talked about buying a house, and now this? I said, "Does he know about me? Does he know that you still live with the man you said you wanted to spend your life with?" She said no. I told her I should go introduce myself, and she replied, "Why do you want to ruin this for me?" I had no words. I went outside, and she followed, then jumped in his car. They sped off. I called her, and it went to voicemail. I left the following message: "Anna, I loved you unconditionally from the moment we met. I did nothing but support, honor, respect, and care for you. I cannot believe you would do this and bring him here. You are acting like garbage. Seriously, you're effing trashy. What happened to you? Don't you ever dare bring him or anyone else to my home again. I don't know what happened to the woman I loved, but she is dead to me. I need you to move out as soon as possible." She returned 2 days ago and told me that if I spoke to her, she would call the cops for harassment. She started packing by putting my bath towels, hers before we moved in together. We had donated my stuff since we would have doubles, in a box, as well as other things I use on a daily basis. She even took the soap and toaster. Who does that? I tried to talk to her. I asked, "Can't we at least be civil and decent to one another? We loved each other for a long time, doesn't that at least mean something?" She told me, "It didn't mean anything. You didn't mean anything." That leveled me. After that, she didn't speak except to say, "Oh, you probably noticed the hickey on my neck." Yeah, I don't remember which one gave me that. I'm done. I'm disgusted by her behavior. I'm heartbroken missing the woman I used to know and love. She has told me she will give me 30 days notice when she plans to leave. I'm counting the minutes. In the meantime, it feels like she is taking every opportunity to hurt me, make me feel small, and treat me like I wronged her. She has even taken to ignoring the dog we got together, not taking it out when I'm not home, then texting me, "Your dog peed on the floor. You're not a very good pet owner." I wanted to thank everyone who messaged and replied to the last thread. This has been one of the hardest times of my life, and you have all been very supportive. I'm starting therapy next week, and I have signed up for a kickboxing class. I'm ready to move on, even if I'm not ready to be healed yet. Edit. Thank you all for the advice and feedback. For clarity's sake, I wasn't trying to win Anna back after all the crap she pulled. At first, absolutely, but not now. Of course, I miss what we had, but I am ready for this to be over. She told me yesterday that she is moving out this weekend. Relevant comments. Commenter. 37, and you still live in this kind of drama? Do you have no savings account? No emergency fund? Be an adult, talk to the leasing manager, pay whatever it takes to break your lease, and leave. Get on with your life. The sooner, the better. You'll thank me in about 6 months. Ops response. I'm not worried about money. I have enough to replace everything without issue. I spoke with the leasing company, and she can't be removed from the lease. I'm not leaving because it's a great apartment, and I should not have to pay for her choice. She has said she is leaving, I'm just waiting for that. Commenter 2. I don't think she's treating him right. I think she should have moved out when they broke up. I think she's being awful and selfish. But damn, this man is exhausting. Commenter 3. At first, I thought maybe he was misguided, but the more I read, the more it seems like he is an unreliable narrator. At the end, he seems straight out of the nice guy stereotype. He clearly doesn't listen well and won't take no for an answer. I bet the actual truth has Anna coming across as a lot more normal and possibly the wrong party in the relationship. She hasn't done or said anything unhinged, yet she threatened to call the cops for harassment pretty soon after they broke up. That's pretty telling. Commenter 4. I want to break up with both of them.